Are you ready to stop the self-sabotage and create the life you desire? Well, in order for that to happen, you need to break free from the bad beliefs that are holding your success hostage. You need to optimize the stress by turning it into extra energy for success. And those hurtful habits? Well, we need to give that pain a purpose for progress. Welcome to Stop the Self-Sabotage and Create the Life You Desire podcast. Do you think it might help that you know who the competent people are whenever you're needing assistance with something? Maybe it's a home construction project and it's more than what you can take on. It might be needing assistance with work done on your car. How about bringing yourself out at your very best? You decide that you're going to hire somebody for it. Well, you want to know who the competent people are, and you do that by two things. The first thing is you look for their intelligence, their IQ in the area of their field, not their overall life. I don't need to know what you've got going on personally if you're coming in and you're fixing my shower that's having a challenge turning on. So you look for intelligence in their area of expertise. And then the second thing you need to look for is how hard do they work? Not as far as how many hours, but what is it that they do to maybe hear your concerns, ask what it is that you're looking for. The fact that what are you expecting from them? You need to know who the competent people are. So let me ask you a question. How competent are you? It's a luxury to follow your desires, those hopes, those wishes, those dreams. It might be your career. It could be a relationship, maybe a house or a car. It's a luxury to follow those. It is an obligation for you to produce a meaningful life. And the meaningful life has to come. You have to work for that before you have earned the right to have your dreams. Because if you haven't worked for it and you get handed those luxuries that you want, you will find a way to self-sabotage them because they are not in alignment with your values of what you feel you need to be competent in. Welcome to Ask Me Anything for Your Success. If you're new to my world, Dawn Ferguson. I am a certified hypnotist who teaches you. I don't tell you what to think. I teach you how to think. I'm also a certified instructor. I train others in this, and a rapid results coach. Because when you work with someone, you should expect same-day results. This is not something that can take years or months or even weeks. Now, it may take that long to get resolution for what it is you're experiencing. But when you go after a meaningful life, not the desires, not the dreams, not the hopes, the wishes, a meaningful life, you should get results right away. Because if you do not, your very powerful mind, known as your subconscious, is going to quit on you. So I've been asked over the past week about what do I do about a relationship that's falling apart? What do I do about I'm being stifled at work? What do I need to do with my health? Why am I sabotaging myself? So I'm rolling all of those questions together today. And all of them are going to be rolled in together as far as your obligation to create that meaning in your life. Because this is what's going to lead to competency. Competency, then, whenever you're taking action, consistent action, and getting results, not in the resolution of the situation, but results and revealing you at your very best. When you do that, then you start to experience what's known as confidence. And then that confidence will allow you to see other situations where you can begin to apply your values and your meaning and start getting results in those areas. And now you're going to feel outstanding. And then once you work on typically 2 to 3 areas and you're like, yes, I'm moving forward, it's going to lead to moments of what's known as euphoria. Here's the thing about euphoria. It does not last. Something's going to come along and it's going to muck it up. And then you're going to have a loss. And then from a loss, you're going to go into anger. You're going to go into grief. And then after that, what's known as situational sadness. Some people call it depression. I'm not supposed to use that term. So, okay, situational sadness. And if you want to get out of situational sadness, you got to move over to competency. And competency says that it's an obligation to produce a meaningful life. And to do that, you need to understand what you value in life. And then you need to be reliable in your actions on that. You know, I talk to people, a lot of women here recently who are in relationships that are not healthy for them. And they're beating themselves up over it. And I'm like, you know what? You were doing the best you could with the skill set that you got at the time. You want maybe out of that relationship. You don't have the reliability on the skill set to do that. You need to be able to start taking care of yourself first instead of always buying into the crud that everybody else is giving you. So you start taking care of yourself first. You need to put together a end result, then a strategy, then tactics. So the end result is, what does it look like in 91 days to be able to be taking care of yourself? Does it mean a part-time job? Does it mean if you're stuck in a career that if you want to be able to move jobs, does it mean that you're out of that job in 91 days? No. Maybe you're developing the contacts to pursue other positions. So what's the end result where you want to be within 91 days and you need to make it believable? It needs to stretch you, but it still needs to be in the realm of believability. And then after that, whenever you set that end result for 3 months, okay, now we need strategies. Strategies are the overall plan. Tactics are the steps to take care of the plan. So you're going to have strategies that are going to have 3 different areas: physical, emotional, and mental. So what are you going to do when you start feeling like the to-do list is way too long? Well, what's the one thing that can move you forward today? Remember, results today. That needs to be acted on first. What happens whenever you get emotionally overwhelmed and you're like, there's just too much? Quit telling your freaking story to everybody who's going to listen and instead go, you know what? I'm angry. I'm ticked off. I'm going to use this energy and I'm going to take an additional physical action. And then the mental overwhelm. To get out of mental overwhelm, you actually need to move your body. And so take 10 minutes and do something where you cannot think except for what it is you're doing. No, don't go out juggling chainsaws. Instead, do something physical. Most people aren't getting enough movement. You know, put on a YouTube video and do some Latin dance steps. You know, something where you really need to think about how you're moving your body in a very expressive way. You only need to do it for 10 minutes, really 9 minutes and 52 seconds, but let's round it up to 10. And then that will allow your mind then to reset whenever it's overwhelmed and you just can't seem to shut things off. It'll allow it to reset, to begin to say, okay, back to what it is that I value and the actions I'm going to take on that. And then you will begin to become reliable. The first 72 hours, it's going to be up and down to where what I call the itty bitty shitty committee shows up. Really? You're really going to do this? And people are going, how do I shut it off? No, it's there for a reason. It's challenging you. And instead, you want to go plan the next vacation or what it is that you're going to do with the kids, or maybe that project around the house, instead of addressing what's really going on, that you need to become reliable on how you're going to take care of yourself. I'm not saying you can't do those other things, but they have to come in afterwards. So the first 72 hours that you decide you're going to create a meaningful life for yourself, you're going to be challenged. It's going to feel like everything is raw and everything is showing up and telling you you can't do it. It's challenging you. Okay, know that on day 4, it's going to start smoothing out. Then it is actually going to take 21 days for what I call emotional optimization. Emotional optimization is where you begin to feel like you got a handle on it. It's going to take up to 3 weeks on that, but it's going to take 91 days of consistent effort. That means every single day of you creating a meaningful life, of valuing what you bring to the world. Okay? So instead of dumbing yourself down so others can feel better. So it's going to take 91 days for you to have an identity upgrade around it. See, if just letting go of weight, that's not creating a meaningful life. Making more money is not creating a meaningful life. Having a loving relationship is not creating a meaningful life. Those are all results. Those are not causes. The cause is you, that you can be trusted. There's a difference between power and competency, and most people go after power. Power is the ability to tell others what to do. Competency is where you have to develop yourself. You have to develop the skill set to handle whatever comes your way. But it is so much easier to distract yourself and say, no, I am just going to figure out ways that I'm going to tell others in my life what they should or shouldn't be doing, and then point the finger at them whenever things let me down. Or I'm going to point the finger at my health and say, this is the reason why I can't move forward. Or I'm going to point the finger at the fact that I don't have enough resources. You don't have resources because you're not resourceful. That's it. Okay. If you want my assistance to be able to develop this competency, I have a package known as transformation, and it takes you from where you are to where you want to be over those 91 days. But before I can even talk to you about the transformation package, I have to work with you in a session first, and then we gauge. You'll have a session and then a follow-up coaching call with me, and then we gauge your results to see if I'm the right fit for you, and if you're ready to be that spectacular, magnificent person you know that you could always be. So reach out to me, 636-699-7791. You can give me a call. You can text me at 636-699-7791 and say Dawn Transformation. So I know what it is we're going to be talking about whenever I text you back with a couple of openings that I have. You can do this. You can have your dreams, but only after you've produced a meaningful life. You can see incredible results in the next 91 days. Or 3 months from now, you're going to be in the same place you are right now. But here's the challenge. You are going to have less resources, because there's only one resource that all of us have, and that's time. And you are going to have less of it. Okay? So, you can do this. You have a light that should be turned on even brighter. It is your unique brilliance This is your intelligence. But you're going to have to work at being competent at you because you've been trained to be what everybody else needs you to be. I'm here to assist you on this.